my name is Shabeela Saleem. I'm a pharmacist in GP practice in the Knowsley area of Liverpool. I've been a community pharmacist for over 20 years, and then one day I saw a discussion on the Women in Pharmacy Facebook group, and they were talking about this new role in GP practice, in which I became interested. So I logged on to the NHS Choices website, and luckily there was a position advertised for clinical pharmacist in my locality. So I applied for the job and I got shortlisted for the interview. On the interview, which was about 20 minutes, there were 3 panel members interviewing me. There was my senior clinical pharmacist, who is my line manager now. There was director of operations and a senior lady from the management team. I was asked random questions, anything from what does clinical governance mean to how I manage conflict in the workplace. I had did my homework and spoken to somebody in Manchester who was actually performing this role in GP practice. So I mentioned that I was aware of things like polypharmacy, de-prescribing, annual medication reviews. So 2 years of working in GP practice. I'm currently doing my prescribing course at Manchester University. My scope of practice is asthma, and I'm enjoying it very much. Once I receive this qualification, I'll be doing further work in GP practice. This will enable me to sign repeat prescriptions, for example, when I'm a bit more experienced. But initially I will be running chronic asthma review clinics, and in time I will expand my role further into other chronic conditions, for example COPD, hypertension and diabetes. I would advise anybody considering the GP practice role that it's extremely enjoyable. You do use and develop a lot of clinical skills, but this is very, very manageable and we're highly skilled already. So just to give you a snapshot of my typical morning in GP practice as I work part-time, I start my shift off by looking at my emails, seeing if there are any urgent queries, and managing my workload. Could be safety recalls, device alerts, etc., or information from the CCG, whom we work very closely as well. In my team, I have other pharmacists. I have my job share pharmacists because we have children, so we work part-time. And then I have a team of technicians supporting us as well. We have the safer prescribing team, and we meet every week to discuss issues, whether it's by Skype or in person, and plan the workload for throughout the rest of the year. So my day-to-day job is medicines reconciliation, looking at advice and medical devices alerts, looking at discharge letters, which we share the workload with the GPs and the other prescribers. And I have also been doing antimicrobial stewardship. And with the formation of the primary care networks, there are lots and lots of other exciting roles as well. Part of the antimicrobial stewardship is that I review the prescribing of antibiotics by the GPs and other prescribers and help meet CCG targets because it is a wider public issue. Other elements that I enjoyed were following Pendleton's rules to do those peer reviews. Another thing I do in GP practice is high-risk high-risk drugs monitoring, which involves making sure that patients who are on high-risk drugs have their relevant blood monitored at the correct time intervals within the shared care agreement with secondary care. So hope that's given you a snapshot. It's like learning to drive. It's a completely new, different set of skills, but pharmacists, I feel, we have so many skills and knowledge of drugs, medicines, devices, especially in the asthma scope of practice, lots and lots of different devices. I think at the last training in November last year, it's 119 different inhalers. So GPs and other prescribers are really eager to consult us for information because only we have that knowledge. So I would advise you strongly to shadow a GP practice for a couple of hours and get a feel for the role, and you will see that it is a really enjoyable profession. Thank you.